Ain't this what you came for? Don't you wish you came more? Girl, what you playing for? Come on, let me kiss that.
Thank you for coming. Hey, first of all, I'd like to say I really appreciate each and every one of you coming here today. I brought me some note cards. I don't normally use notes because I kind of got this all in my system, in my head, but today I thought I'd use notes, Gilda, just in case I forget to do something. But what I want to explain to you, this is the first Sambition event, and that's the word ambition with S on it. My name is Sam, Sambition. That just makes sense to me. So these are my Sambition lecture series. What Sambition is all about, the mission statement of Sambition is to enrich people's lives one solution at a time. So we're going to deal with life solutions, whether it be in relationships, manhood, womankind, information, physical fitness, God, money, education. We're going to deal with a lot of issues. Sometimes we're going to cry together. Sometimes we'll laugh together. Sometimes you might get ticked off at me every once in a while because I do tell the truth. So this is, I'm very excited about this. I've been doing this for a minute kind of on the underground, and this is the actual first stage event where I'm actually putting it out on stage. And first of all, I also like to thank all of y'all who's my family and friends. Thank you for coming. One of the most important things in getting a vision off the ground or a dream is you have to start it. And you have to start it and you have to build it. And I appreciate the process of doing the whole thing. So as you know, I don't know if some of y'all seen the flyers or the topics I have, but tonight we're talking about why men cheat, the myths and the truths. But let me go to my card here so I can make these few announcements so I don't forget. The next upcoming one is October the 12th, and that's called, I named that Secrets About Women That Every Man, no, Secrets About Men That Every Woman Needs to Know. And then I'm skipping the month of November and December because of the holidays, but January 18th is called Love Gets No Respect. And then on March 1st, we're doing Secrets That Every Man Needs to Know About Women. So probably all the women want to come to that, but they probably want to know what secrets do I know about them. So that's going to be good. So those are all my things. Those are my upcoming events. Also, for you guys that are here, if you want to buy the tickets for the next two events, I'm selling it. I'm giving them to you for $10 a piece. The normal price is going to be $10 for everything for each event that I'm doing, because most of the time I have food and gifts and just different things just to help everybody come here and have a good time. And also, I'm not going to just stand up here and talk. I'm going to talk to you, but this is kind of interactive. I like the interactive feedback. If any of y'all ever been to church, you know how they say, hey, you can do that, brother, you right. I agree with that. And sometimes I might ask questions and say, raise your hand and stuff. Of course, you don't want nobody to know your business. You ain't going to raise your hand up. But I'm going to do that. I like the feedback and the energy from here to there because it just makes it easier and we get the real truth and stuff in a lot of areas. So the tickets about me. Now, a little about me. I have one class left before I have my master's degree in higher education, and through another college, I'll be done with my doctorate degree in divinity by the end of the year. I have two bachelor's degrees, one in international business, and I have another one in business management. I also have a certificate of diploma for continuing education from Penn State University. The Penn State is kind of getting bad publicity right now, but that Penn State for advocacy, mentoring, and advising. I've been on television a lot over the last 10 years. I've done numerous commercials nationally, regionally for companies like Quicken Loan, ABC here in Toledo, Fox, and CBS Channel 11. Also, I've done plays and I've been in movie film. Also, at the current time, I'm working on an album, and I'm very happy about that because we're making a lot of progress and it's going off so good. This is, a matter of fact, one of my singers who's Also a photographer, Darlene Moorhead, and they did, her and the rest of them doing a great job in the studio. So we putting all that together. Oh, and TJ back there, who's going to be my minister of, or the music guy in the live session. So he in charge of the band, so I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, you can give him a hand. That's his godmother right there. So also, something I'm also very proud of is I'm getting prepared to compete in bodybuilding competition next year. So I've been in the gym for like, 10 weeks trying to get that. No, I ain't joking, but trying to get that all together. That's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. And I'm really excited about that. And these things I'm involved in because I'm motivated and inspired to do whatever I want to do and need to do to make myself an important piece of life here on this planet. I don't want to go down and die and be in the ground and I didn't make my impact here. And this is a part of my impact also, is talking to you guys and stuff. So so I'm very excited about this. So now I think I got all the announcements and stuff. And any questions you want to have, also what we're going to do after I get done talking, we're going to do pick the gifts, because you win the gifts here, the prizes and stuff like that. And then we're going to have a Q&A session, and then you can eat. And you're free to bring the food back in here and eat as much as you want and pass out, with a meatball in your mouth, whatever you want to do. That's on you. You can do whatever you need to do with that. So, all right, are you ready? Yes. You ready? All right, so the first thing I do, like I said, I don't normally do notes because I'm pretty good off the dome, but I'm doing notes on this today. And it's so much I wanted to say about this topic. And when people first heard it, let me tell you this. The reason I'm doing this topic first is because a lot of women ask me this question: why do men cheat? And then men said, well, why do you want to tell them why we cheat? But what I'm going to try to do today is to get rid of some of the myths and the truths. Because a lot of times, cheating is the end result. So it's easy to say a person cheated and that's the end result. But we need to know what happened and why before it even came to that. What position were they in? Because men and women really cheat a lot for the same reasons. And I picked like 10 to go through, because it's a lot, but I had to narrow it down so I could fit it in a time frame. So I'm going to just name 10 that I thought there were important reasons why people cheat, and my goal is to come from a more preventive idea, so when you look at your mate or whoever, you'll be more in preventive mode. And in order to be that, you have to understand how certain things work and what position they are. Because people cheat for many reasons. But here's the first one. This ain't no particular order. I just named, so it ain't like this is the greatest one or whatever. The first reason I wanted to is men cheat when they're totally disrespected. Respect to a man is what love is to a woman. I'm going to say that one more time. A man, let me change that around. If a man had to choose between respect or love, he'll always take respect first, because you can't love him and not respect him. So respect is in a man, because respect is directly tied to his ego. You understand that when I say that? It's directly tied to his ego. You're not going to get a man's heart if you don't deal with his ego first. It's just like you can't get to a woman unless you go through her emotions. So the man, you got to come in through the ego. The woman, you got to come in through the emotions. Them the doors that you have to come in. And so when a man gets disrespected, he will, let me tell you how strong the ego is. The ego is so strong on a man that when it gets hit or bruised, it will automatically seek repair. Repair might come from a job, it might come from another woman, it might come from an activity, but he's going to go immediately and repair his ego. That's how strong the ego is to a man. So respect is tied to that ego of that man. So again, ladies, because I'm talking to you for a minute, when you disrespecting a man, what you really saying to him is you need to go. Because that's how he taking. Because he's not going to stand there and take that for long. Because just like y'all emotions are, that's how his ego are. That's how his ego is. So I want you to understand, a man, when he gets disrespected, he has the potential to cheat. Now, when we say cheat, I don't want you to assume when I say cheat, I'm talking about cheating with a woman. He could cheat with anything. Just like a woman, she don't have to go cheat with a man. She could cheat with an activity. She could cheat with hanging with a girlfriend. It could be anything. What I'm saying is, no matter what it is, when you put them in that position, there's a potential that that cheat is going to happen. So I want you to remember that one first, because I'm going to try to spend like 5 minutes on each, because 5 minutes is like 50, almost an hour, so I'm going to try to cut it down. So that number one, totally disrespecting a man puts him in a position to potentially cheat with something, and that means he will totally either not engage you or he will ignore you. But he will at all costs repair his ego. Everybody get that? Everybody agree with that? Everybody cool with that? All right, okay. Number two, and I can't overemphasize this one, because in my next series we got coming up, I'm going to talk about this subject a lot in a lot of different ways. When a woman will not give a man sex, he has the potential to cheat. Because there is always a woman that will. Always. Y'all women know that. Well, I'm going to repeat this. Let me slow it down. Can I slow it down, Brother Craig? I'll slow it down. When a woman, because let me tell you how deep sex is to a man. This is good. Men and women are so much alike, they just go about getting to the same goal of different routes. Do you know when a man has sex with a woman, it builds his confidence. That's when he feel loved. That's when he feel appreciated. And when you say no to him, that's when he feel rejected. And when he feels rejected, where is he going back to? To repair what? That ego. So if that woman at the job or that buddy that's going on them trips, his single buddy, the buddy don't have no woman, they ain't married, they don't have no woman, he'll go and do that to repair what? That ego. Because what sex is to, let me tell you another reason. Sex to a man is what having a baby and getting married is to a woman. Y'all get that? That's how deep that is. Because most women think it's just a physical pleasure, but it's way deeper than that for a man. And it's no good unless he with the woman, he in love with. So I want you to understand there. Sex is what a man is what a man needs and wants. Like I said, I had time to go into that deeper at the next series, because I'm gonna come 3 different ways. I'm gonna explain that to you, because a lot of times I don't think women understand on a level, because men, when they chasing it, women like, oh no, they got the power, blah blah blah. But it's deeper than that. But when I flip the script and talk about emotions and how that's important to y'all, I want you to equate that to sex, and you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm coming to that down the road. We're going to break that. So that's one of the things. When a man doesn't get sex from the woman that he's in love with, not just a woman, because men, of course, can separate sex. So if he don't have no feelings for you, a man could go have sex with another woman and don't feel nothing. He only feels something with the woman he in love with. So when she rejects him, she always puts him in a position of cheating. Don't ever forget that. The men agree with that? The men agree with that? Thank you, Marcus. Y'all all right, Marcus? Y'all ain't on camera. I put your own camera over. So I want you to remember that. Number 3, and this is important. I'm going to spend a minute on this. Women, you have to know how to create the taboo factor in his life. The taboo factor. Let me tell you what the taboo factor. If you can understand sports, you will understand a man. Not the rules of the game, not for what's first down in football or shoot the basket and 2 points go through the hoop, not that part of it. If you ever watch a man in sports and you can figure out, you look at him, you can figure out how he is. So I'm going to just give you a couple. I'm going to throw in about it before, as I'm getting to that. You know why men like sports, for example, so much? It's unpredictable. You always on the edge. It's variety. It's never boring. You don't know who's going to win. And it keeps you entertained. That's just the name of a few. So does that sound like something that should be in a relationship? You should entertain. You should have some variety. You should have some yeah, some unpredictability. And always is action. The game is constantly moving. It's not boring. So like I'll talk about that later. But the taboo is the taboo factor is what creates the thrill in your man. You got to know how to create a thrill in him. Do y'all know what I mean by that? You gotta know what's edgy to him. And when I say create a thrill, because just equate that to what I just said a little bit about sports. That's why men like sports so much. I don't know too many men that don't like sports. And we all like it for the same reason. Is that true, men? We like it because it's fast, it's entertaining, it's variety. Sometimes in football, you're going to do a handoff, it's going to be a pass, it's going to be kick return. So if you put that in your relationship and you can create that energy or that emotion in men, you got it. So I admonish you to learn about sports. And the same for the men. Now, everything I'm saying to the ladies, I'm talking to the men too. Because the ladies want the same thing. They don't want to be bored. They want variety. They want some excitement. But they don't want you on the couch looking at the game. They want you in the game. You get what I'm saying? So, man, I can't wait to get the rest of the stuff. I'm going to go real deeper into stuff like that. So the taboo factor is creating a energy of something that you're not supposed to do. Because people, for example, and I'm going to talk about temptation later, the reason temptation is so powerful for women and men, especially for men, is because everybody wants to do what they don't want to do, but the reason we don't do it is because society has these walls that help keep us controlled. But it ain't that dealing with temptation is hard. People deal with temptation every day. What most people really want to do is to give in to temptation. That's really what they want to do. That's really what they want to do. So you have to create, and everything I'm talking about is about positioning. I'm talking about positioning tonight. Everything that you create is positioning for this. It's just like I mentioned early. I go to the gym 6 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week. The reason I'm doing that is to position my body to look good enough to win in competition. So going to the gym every day is positioning me for a chance to win. That's the same thing in relationships. That's the same thing with dealing with a man, and same thing dealing with a woman. You got to put your man in a position where they can win with you. So how do you do that? Well, you got to know what to do. And creating taboo factors is like how you get this information. I'm a big advocate of getting information on your mate or whoever you with, because the more you know about them, the more you can figure out what to do. Sometimes I hear women say, because I mentioned, I'm pretty vocal about my stuff, because there ain't nothing you can do about it. I know what I'm talking about, so you ain't is that I always tell guys, you always want to keep information on your woman. Like every day, when y'all go out to dinner, if she happy one day, if she mad one day, you need to document like what happened that day. And for anybody that's went to college, we used to document a whole bunch of stuff we don't want to do, but we got to do so we can pass. This is the same thing. It's a lifelong thing. So, for example, here's an easy example. If you know your man likes watching sports, that makes him happy, then anytime you get him in front of anything that's a sports game, whatever, he's going to be happy. So what would that tell you? So that would say, anytime I want to make him happy, I just put sports in front of him. So if you know that on purpose, it's just like if a woman likes, say, a man that's ambitious. If I want to have a character trait and her attracted to me, all I got to do is be what? Ambitious. You see how easy that is? So how you figure this out, you get information. So if you have taboo factors, is those things that they did when they wasn't supposed to, if you could create that in your relationship, you got a high percentage of your man or woman not going anywhere. Because it's a combination of a lot of stuff going on at the same time. It's kind of like, let me see, how do I say this? Like say something real easy. Say you go in your garage in a parked car and you make out in the car, and that's just something they always want to do at nighttime. And if you could create that, you're fulfilling all those things, because everything that we do in our life and everything that happens to us, we all keep a mental and a spiritual Rolodex of what went on. Some things we let go, some things we forget about due to other circumstances or age, or some things we just choose to not deal with. But for the most part, we still remember stuff bad, good, and ugly that happened to it. So if you know how to create certain emotions in men as well as women, you're going to get a lot accomplished. And the taboo factor is just knowing part of it without going, because there's a lot to it, but I wanted to keep it short, is creating thrills in a guy. You got to figure out what creates thrill. Because when a man cheats, what he really chasing is that thrill, because we're just by nature hunters. So, but the female that they love to hunt is the one they can't either catch or figure out. So even in a relationship, you got to be aloof sometimes. A woman got to be aloof. She can't always say yes. Sometimes she got to have a headache. She got to do that. Always keep him on the edge a little bit. Not attitude, on the edge. Just keep him on the edge a little bit. Because men like to seek and conquer. That's just how we built. So if he conquering you all the time and you not keeping him off kilter, it's gonna get boring to him. So I'm just telling you that. So you have to create thrills in him. So let me move on to number 4. I spent number 4. Spend a little time on that. A man would cheat is he's getting no love, affection, attention, appreciation, and romance. Did y'all know that men really like that stuff? Men really like that. Because I know women like that. Men like that too. Don't think he don't want to be appreciated. He don't want to be loved. He don't want, see, I had to take these notes. He want love and he want romance. But most men, they don't know how to really communicate this. What they do is react if they're not getting it or getting it. So if the woman not getting him attention, always remember, there's some woman that will. And men, and I'm going to get into men's emotions in another series also, because I think a lot of women don't understand that men, again, function a lot like women. We just have different ways of getting to the same point. And so when you're in any type of relationship, the love and the attention and affection is reciprocated. So we both want it. So, but if a man don't get no love and attention and appreciation and no romance long enough, he in position to cheat. Men, y'all agree with that? He in position to cheat. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say some things over because I feel it's that important. A man only really wants the love from the woman he's in love with. I don't care how many women come on to him. It's good for his confidence. It's good for that good old ego. But it don't really mean nothing to a man unless he gets it from the woman he in love with. Don't ever forget that. So when the woman he in love with is not doing right by him, you really said, I want you to go, I want somebody else to find you because I don't want to do it. That's how he takes it. I want you to understand that. It would be the same thing if the woman wasn't getting emotionally appreciated. She wasn't getting affection. She wasn't getting love. Well, what do women think when the man not doing that? Don't y'all? He's cheating. Yeah, he's cheating. That's how men feel. But men are quicker to go get the ego repaired versus women getting the emotions repaired. Women will walk it out 3, 4, 5, 6,000 years, then that 7,000 year, they like, oh, he a bum. A man? 3 months, 3 minutes, 3 days, and he gone, because our ego is that powerful, and we will preserve it at all costs. Don't ever forget that. So you know something? I'm going to throw this in. It ain't got nothing to do with that. If you ever want to get to the crux and the deep of your man and make it happen, if you figure out how his ego works, you got him. you got him. And when I say you got him, what I mean is that man will move heaven and earth for you if you know how to deal with his ego. And don't look at it as a competition. Look at it as a compromise. Let me see, if I stroke his ego, I don't want you lying to him, though. I mean, if he a bum, you a bum, dog. Get that together. and emotionally, he'll be able to return the same favor. One of the goals in Sambition I want to do is not just say this is this and this is that, but I want to really give you practical application. That means I want to help women understand men and men understand women. So that means if I tell you, okay, this is a situation, this is what you got to do to solve it, that's what I want to give you that. It's the information that's important. That's why I'm a huge advocate of taking data down on your woman. I got data on some of my exes. Some of them like chocolate ice cream. Some of them happy when they run by the mall. Some of them got happy when their family was nice to. I know it all because I keep data. Now, I didn't tell them that because that makes me look better, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing my Doc Chris, I'm doing my homework. And I'm telling you, have any of you ever seen that movie Hitch? Will Smith? That's what Will was trying, his character, Dad, I broke my watch off. His character was trying to, that pen. His character was trying to explain that was showing those guys how to get that data on the woman so you'd understand how she works. Now, I know some women and men get mad if you do that, but hey, that's what you got to do if you want to have a shot at winning. So a man's getting no love and no affection, no attention. You are putting him in position to cheat. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget, I'm throwing the ego thing in there. It ain't really a part of this, but I really want you to get that ego thing. Because when I talk about emotions, that's going to be the equivalent. Okay, number 5. A man has the potential to cheat when he's a man by age, but still a boy by here and here. One good way to tell if a man is still a boy, if his whole focus is pleasure. And when I say pleasure, I mean anything that makes him happy, not the accountability, not being responsible, not being disciplined, not being dedicated, not seeking to learn, to get information. When he's solely in the pleasure, he's still in the boy stage. Now let me give you just a couple of things I'm going to throw in if he's still in boy stage. It's real easy for you to pick up on this. If he refers to you as hey girl, hey girl, and he not your man, when he trying to approach you, he's still a boy stage. This is the easy stuff. I ain't getting the deep stuff. He's still a boy. When he does stuff that you see teenagers do, he's still in the boy stage. Let me tell you the difference, just a couple of things that's different between the man and the boy. Most grown men that take care of their business are very disciplined in how they go about stuff. Sometimes it ain't in the body, but they disciplined in their life. They take care of their business. They are accountable. And just like my dad over here, the guy in the black shirt, I really appreciate him because all my life, that's all I've ever seen from him, is a man that handle his business. That's all I've ever seen. So I'm made like that because that's all I've seen him do. And I know that's rare because a lot of men, especially African-American men, don't even have their fathers and mothers still together. Or like I know like Bruce does. So it makes a difference. So, and like I said, a boy, he goes about things doing like you would in high school. So he's not good with responsibility. He's not good with accountability. But when you deal with a man that you think is a man and he's still in that boy stage, he's in position to cheat because he don't know what to do with a grown woman. So I just want to give you that. That's number 5. Number 6, I talked a little bit about this earlier, is temptation. Temptation always puts a man in position to cheat. Let me just tell you the truth, lady. Men are going to look. It's just in our DNA to look. It's hard not to. I'm telling you, it's hard. Hard. When I say hard, I don't mean hard as like lust. It's just if it passes us, We just have to acknowledge or salute it. And then turn back and go. And let me tell you why. Because in my next is again, I'm going to talk about what visuals are to a man. Visuals are to a man is what love is to a woman. So when you don't take care of yourself, it really does affect your man. I'm going to tell you that. He can't tell you that because he with you. I ain't with you. I can tell you that. That's just being honest. It's the same way with guys. When guys are not doing that thing that emotionally stimulate women, it's the same thing. So visuals for a man is a deep thing. Visuals and sex. Those are two high levels and egos for us. So temptation always put us in a position, but grown men make the right decision, look, and keep going. And the reason why visuals are so tempting to men is because we don't forget nothing we saw that we liked. It might take us a couple of years. I still remember stuff from 10 years ago. That's how, am I telling the truth, man? You ain't got to raise your hand. You could just shake your head up and I'm telling the truth. That's how we are, and you need to understand that. That don't mean he's going to cheat. I'm just telling you that that potential is always there. Grown men ignore it, boys, in and out. So I just want to tell you, and the temptation, so the reason I'm telling you that is because in a relationship, if you know how to create his temptation, that gives you a huge weight in his life. Let me give you an example. This is easy. Say he's tempted by women that wear high heels. He just can't help it. That's his weak thing. He look at heels. Guess what happens if you wear heels? What he gonna do? You gonna be the one to tempt it. And when a man is tempted by something he can have, guess what he gonna do? He going after it. And since y'all live in the same house, he go right on. So I'm trying to really simplify it so you understand it. That temptation, if you can find his weakness and his temptation and recreate it, you win. And the more you win, the less potential, the less you take him out of position to cheat. You get that? It's just like, ladies, don't y'all like watching a man in shape versus a dude that weighs 400 pounds? Have any of y'all ever been tempted by a dude that weighs 400 pounds? I don't know of one, unless she couldn't see. That's what I'm talking about. So I want you to get that. Y'all all right with that? That's okay? I want you to understand that. That's good. So don't forget, ladies, if you can create his temptation, you got it. You get like 100,000 points. And that car you was thinking about, he done bought it because you fulfilled that temptation. So number 7. I got 3 more because I did 10, and then I'm going to just do 3 quick ones, why women cheat, so I can talk to the brothers and men for a minute. Number 7, and I want y'all to really hear this one. Nagging, whining, and complaining, stop it. If a man has the choice between running into a burning house or dealing with a nagging, complaining, whining woman, guess what he might? He might not actually run it out, but he going to think about it for a minute. Wait a minute. I only get like 30% burn. If I go to hospital, I'd be out like a week and do that. Am I telling the truth, man? Men detest, when I say detest a whining, nagging, and complaining woman. Especially if he's a good man. That puts him in a high potential to cheat. Because there's another woman that's doing what? Stroking that what? Ego. That's stroking that ego. Oh, you all right. You a good man. And y'all, and you know what I love about women? I'm going to say this, man. I always say women are 10 times smarter than us. They way smarter than us. We communicate on a level 1 and 1A. We might make it to 2. Women on 1 to infinity. So a woman could walk, you could be watching the game, a woman walk in front of you and say, how's that game going? And you say, oh man, this. Then later on, you try to get a couple of kisses and like notice she ain't responding to you. That's what she was trying to do when she asked about the game. But she didn't say that. She was communicating with you on that 17,000 level you supposed to catch. Because women expect men to understand that second and third 100, 300, 400, 500 level. But we're going to have a session when just going to be all the men. I'm going to teach y'all how to understand what they doing when they ain't saying what they saying. Because they be saying a lot You just have to know what they're saying to you. They use body language, eyes, smirk, look, and so nagging, whining, and complaining always puts a man in position to cheat. I'm gonna just tell y'all flat out. Especially a good man, a dude that got an angle, ain't gonna really matter to him because he's short term. Long term guys, that's the quickest way to run a man out of your life, out of your house, is to do that, especially when he know he's good. All right, number 8, talked about a little of this earlier, a need for sexual variety. If you're boring, you putting him in potential to cheat. I'm gonna just tell you that. You're putting him in potential. Remember, and the reason I'm saying that, remember, don't ever forget I said sports. I'm gonna break it down more later, but don't ever forget, if you ever wanna know what emotions and intensity your man go through, watch sports. Forget whether it's first down and 3, it's second down 2. Forget if LeBron holding the ball. All you do is, while he watching the game, just look at it. See what he doing? Because you watch the emotions he go through. Am I right, man? And we ain't even got no invested in the team. The owner ain't put us as one of the stockholders. But we in it because of that. Sports gives us an adrenaline. Remember, variety, because every play we don't know what's going to happen. It's competition, because you know we like a little competition. We like to figure some stuff out. And so I want you to remember that. If you're boring, you put him in a position to cheat. Because why, ladies? Because there's always a woman that'll watch the man while he's watching sports. So I want you to remember that. Because when I get to love, get to know respect on January 18th, I'm going to talk about the position of love. Because some of this stuff has to do with your position in love. Because love is really about being unselfishness. And if you can focus on the other individual and that individual focus on you, y'all will totally fulfill everything in each other. But I'm going to talk about that down because there's spiritual principle and psychological aspects of that whole thing. So number 9, I'm going to. Everybody was good, that good when you disagree, say, Sam, just lift your hands. You ain't got to say it, but lift your hands. Number 9, and I'm just saying some stuff, women, because when I deal with the men, I'm going to say stuff for y'all that y'all really want to tell them, but you can't, but I can. So I'm doing kind of 9. Number 9, if you let yourself go, you put your man in a situation a position to cheat. When I say let yourself go, what I mean is you get lazy, or the house ain't clean, or you not clean, or you're not doing nothing to appease his what? Them visuals. Them visuals is deep to a man. Now your man can't tell you that, but I can. That's why you're here. Your man really be looking at you, man, and see, women, y'all 10 times smarter than us, so I know y'all know that. Y'all know when y'all ain't got it together. Don't think that man don't know. Because he looking at you, you like, hey, baby, hey, what's going on? Because, again, men, visuals are very powerful. We don't forget nothing. Visual. We can remember stuff when we was little dudes, the first girl we was attracted to, famous and in the neighborhood. We can remember a chick walking across the street that was in junior high when I was late for school 5 minutes, and she was following behind my buddy Robbie, who was down, going to gym class. We remember stuff like that on the visuals. That's how deep. You know how like women can recall stuff men did like 40 years later? Just like it happened yesterday and the men is dumbfounded. Men do recall like that on visuals. So when you ain't had it together, man, let me see, 2.5 weeks ago, boy. Because remember, he always looking, the visuals always. So when you don't have it together, you always put him at potential to cheat, because that ties into temptation because of the visual. Don't ever forget, I told you, the 2 strongest things in a man, visual, ego. He will repair his ego at all costs. And if that means him cheating, he will do that to repair. Men will not let their ego go beat up for a long period of time like women do with emotion. Women, I told you, you let them emotion go. Men don't do that with our ego. We'll go repair our ego that day. Like if you in a relationship, just boyfriend, girlfriend, for example, and you know that girl who wants you, that you don't want her, you'll go holler at her just so she can build up your confidence. even though you don't want to have nothing to do with her, because she's repairing that ego. So I want you to remember that. Number 10, a man is always in position to cheat if he does not love or like you. Yeah, love or like you. Or say he loved you, but he don't really like you. When your man don't like you, you putting him in a position to cheat. Let me tell you why. Did y'all know that? Does that sound funny? Huh? Yeah, is it true? I mean, we're free to laugh. I mean, it's just true. Because just because your man love you don't mean he like you. You can have characteristics he don't like. You could do stuff that he don't like, and just because he there, you think that, man, I can get away with anything. I can do anything, and my man is here. Yeah, your man there, but the ego and the eyes are somewhere else. I'm just telling you. So you always put him in a position, and have the potential to cheat when he does not love or like you. So you don't ever want to be in that position. So you always want to communicate. Is that good? And I'm going to reiterate this one. I said to keep your man out of position to cheat, you need to know how to create his thrill. I will say this again for like the 5th time. Watch your man during sports. Watch all them emotions go through. Figure out how to do what sports is doing, and you won. And you know what? He'll never go nowhere. Because there ain't no woman that can recreate them type of emotions. Am I right, man? I want you to think about it. I'm just throwing this on the side note. Men been in sports since we was boys, all the way to the time we dropped dead. So what does that tell you about sports? What does that tell you about sports? We must really like it. So that means if you understand what sports does, you will figure out a lot about your man. It's just like with women. Most women who were girls, they imagine getting married to their Prince Charming, growing up, getting married and having a family. Nowadays, some want careers, but deep down, they all want that one man, even if they don't want that family, they want that one man. They don't want to be with Johnny and Mike and Tito and Jermaine. They want that one man that's going to make them happy. And sometimes they just get impatient and they get losers or bums. But they want that one man. Well, in another series I'm going to talk about is how to qualify people, how to know what they're there for when they get there. And I'm talking about from the young and the old, because men can't act that long. I always say the dudes that act the best, their names is Washington, Freeman, Crow, Smith. These dudes make 20, Tom Cruise, Fox. These dudes make millions of dollars to act. The average man can't act that good. That's why he don't make that kind of money. They even pay me for acting, so I have a little level of being able to act. So the average man, when he approaches you, you can pretty quickly figure out what he's trying to do. And you know something? Hey man, let me tell you this right quick. Women already know, like, within the first half hour. They know in the first half hour whether you ain't right. And they act like they don't. I know they do, because they 10 times smarter than us. They know when you a bum, but what gets them, and I'm going to go back to my car. Can I go back to the car a bit again? What gets them is they like to change things. Just change. They're just changers. That's what they do. One thing is they do naturally. They love and they create. Create means creating things, changing it around. My aunt over here, she changes everything around all the time. She changes everything all the time. So I was talking about this earlier, and I'm still on subject. I'm going to get to the 3 things right quick for women. Women really want a bad boy. The problem is all the stuff that comes with having a bad boy. He ain't working. He taking your money. He gonna hurt you, all that type of stuff. See, the trick is not that you have to get a bad boy. What you got to do is get a good man to know how to do bad boy tendencies. Tendencies.
That variety.
Yeah, tendencies. That's all you got to do. You got to just get a cut. If you get 3 or 4 good ones that they like, that's when you do your homework on your woman. And you know the 3 or 4 that they like, you can always go what I call ringer moves. They can't get out of ringer moves. Anything you know, like, for example, and I'm just throwing this in free, okay, we doing good. Women like men that take control, but they don't like controlling men. So how do you take control without being a controlling man? Man, I'm gonna give you this one for free. All you have to do is talk as one in authority at all times. Do y'all get that? When I say talk in authority, I mean like, girl, you gonna do it. I ain't talking about that. She come ask you a question. I'm letting in on one of the secrets. This is the easy secret. Anything she says to you, always respond to her as though you give an approval. That stuff is powerful, believe me. I do it with everybody. It's just natural. I can tell you my stuff. It can't be stopped. And it gives her a feeling of support, and that man standing up and be a man without being controlling or being dominated. You see how that works? I'll get to that later on. I'm going to really break it down. I'll break it down for the women, for the men, and the men for the women. And I mean, this stuff, it just works. It just works. So I'm done with that. Okay, let me just get to 3 quick men for why women cheat. Just the easy one. I got about like 30 or 40 of those, but I'm going to just do 3 of them today because I ain't in that. One of the reasons a woman would cheat on a man if her emotional needs not fulfilled. Man, we ain't good with emotions. I love them myself personally now. I didn't a couple of years ago, but I understand how they work, and I can use them to my benefit. But women, you got to, just like a man, you got to come through his ego. Women, you got to come through their emotions. You got to come through. You got to come to there to get to their love, get to their appreciation, get to their affection. That's why a woman would stay in a bad relationship with a dude that ain't doing her right for a long time, because he got her emotionally gripped, entwined. And the second thing he's creating in her is that tension. See, that's what them bad boys do. They create that tension or that sexual tension, and it's hard for a woman to walk away from tension when it's good to her. Men, we can walk away from that because we know we can always find it. We hunters, so we move on. So a woman will cheat if you put her in a position where her emotional needs are not being fulfilled. And men, don't be fooled. When she ain't acting like nothing wrong and you ain't doing it right, she thinking about it. She already thought about her next 10,000 moves. That's how quick they are on the brain. She done thought about, let me see, 5 years from now, I'm going to be over here, and this how much money I'd have been and got by then, and you know, this and this. That's how women minds move like that in nanoseconds. So she always thinks. So just because you not physically seeing it, she's thinking about it when her emotional needs are not being fulfilled. Number 2 is when women will cheat when they've been in a position where they've been neglected. So men, let me tell you something about women. It relates to cheating. When you take care of everything out here, this is all good. But let's say this is her. I done took care of the floor, the wall, the movie screen, the curtains, the ramp, the chairs, the table. Notice I ain't went nowhere near and touched that chair. That's her. You done created all and did all of this, but if you ain't touched her, that means nothing to her. So you basically, and all an external man, a man from the outside, that come and say, boy, you sure look nice today. She done sucked into that already. Why? Because he done affected her emotions and he complimented her. One day I'm going to talk about the 4 different types of women that men you going to want to know about and how to get this feeling. It's good. It'll be real good. It'll be real good. So number 3 is she's not getting her affection and attention needs met. And attention man, I'm telling you, it don't take a lot to please your woman if you know her and do it right consistently one day at a time. It's easy. It's just like if you eat that day, say something good about her that day. If you eat that, now if she acting up now, you know you gonna have to, check her every once in a while. Every once in a while, But they even like being checked if you do it the right way. Matter of fact, they get turned on by it if you do it the right way. Is that right, women? Yeah, see, I know. I already know. That's why I'm up here talking about it. So, but that comes again, and I talk about more later about studying your woman, just like women study your man, because that's the greatest benefit you can get is knowing who you with. And it's just like going to school. We'll go to our jobs every day. We'll do what they say, study that job, work for them, make all that money. But for some reason, we don't like to apply that to relationships. And the relationship is more important because I'm telling you, they can cut you off a job anytime they feel like it, unless you own the company. Oh, but then if your customers don't act right, and she's still there. So you take care of the most prized possession first, because men know this. When your woman is behind you, man, you feel like you can conquer the world. Conquer the world. Man, I'm telling you, a woman that makes a man feel like a man, he will walk from here to Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. Am I telling the truth, man? That's how powerful that is, because it's building his confidence and affecting his ego. If you just rub a man on his head and say, baby, you know what, I love you so much, you so good to me, man, that dude will go out and build a house with his bare hands in a day. Am I right, man? Am I right? Am I right, Reverend Stretch? Am I right? Yeah, that's how we are. Because it's true. That's how powerful our ego is. Our ego make us, she complimented me, so I got to do something for her. You get what I'm saying? So the other, and man, one day I'm going to teach y'all how to talk about the investment factor, because that's huge too. So when a woman's attention and affection needs are not getting met, man, she is always in position to cheat. And if you got a good looking woman, every man knows in here some dude is already looking at her. So he know if he ain't on his game and she doing stuff a little different or she moving funny. See, women, when they getting compliments from outside stuff, they even walk different. They breathe different. Y'all ever notice this stuff? They look at you funny. I remember Chris Rock said one time, he said, you ever see your woman looking at you funny just out of nowhere? He said, you know why she doing that? Because you was her second choice. But women like that. I mean, if you ain't paying attention, you know when she been affected by an outside man. Because she's acting and feeling different, like say she more happier, and you know you not doing that, because us men, we know we ain't doing it. But unless you put us in a position where we feel required, we're not going to react and do it. That's just how men are. So, but one day I'm going to have a session, it's just going to be women. I'm going to tell y'all how to make all of that happen. And you do this stuff on purpose. Because don't ever think that love is just something that falls out the sky, and if it'll happen, it's just, no, love is psychological. Love is psychological, like stuff you have to do. It's a strategically figuring out who you with and then making stuff happen on purpose. Just like one day I'm going to talk about the emotional sequence. Do you know on purpose, men, that if you take women through certain sets of emotions, like say if you've seen her go through being angry to being teased, to being on edge to happy, that's a formula. So say for example, I'll just use a quick example and then I'm done. I had one of my exes a long time ago. One day she was real happy, man. She was real happy. So I said, okay, she happy today. So I was like, baby, she know what I was doing. This is what I'm doing. Hey, what happened today? I'm gonna ask her how her day went at work. Did she interact with her family? They ticked her off. I took all that data down. So I found out she had a decent day at work. Then she got in an argument with her family. So she was happy. She was angry. Then she got teased because something didn't come through that she thought. And then when she saw me again, she got happy. And that put her in an extremely good mood. I mean, who wouldn't be in a good mood if they see me happy? So I jotted this down. I jotted down what she was wearing, what time it happened. But you gotta be smooth asking these questions because you want her to, know you the man, so you don't want to tell her secret. You just want to be doing the research. Ain't that right, PhD student, Dr. Gray? You want to just know the research so you could be an expert in her field. I took all that down. And you know why I'm doing that, man? And then I'm done. Because if I know what made her happy, all I got to do is recreate them emotions. And that works 100% of the time. It's never not going to work. If she like chocolate ice cream, she going to always like chocolate ice cream. Unless for health reasons. You understand that? So if I say ice cream, then she's going to always be happy. So I know on purpose I can make her happy by putting ice cream on the table, this chocolate. That's how you do the rest of the stuff, but we'll get into that. So I'm done with those things, and this is going to be most of the time my ending statement because I love this. I heard Deion Sanders say this before, and I'm going to give him his props because I'm on camera. But he had made a statement, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you do good. If you do good, they pay good. If they pay good, you play good. If you play good, you give good. If you give good, you know God is good. I added the last two. So that's my ending statement for the day, for the night. And what we're going to do next, and I want to say I appreciate all of you guys coming. I have so much I want to say about so many things, but that's what time is for, so I can put them in each of my events and do what we need to do.
Come on, let me kiss that. Ooh, I know you missed that. What's wrong? Let me fix that. Twist that.
I felt like I was in my living room. It was very comfortable, very informative. Some things that I wasn't aware of that he kind of elaborated on. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next one. I enjoyed everything. It was great. I just wish that there were more people that were here, and hopefully in the next time we can get more press out and get it advertised. But I did enjoy it very much.
The performance was fantastic. Sam, great job. Love you. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Very informative. He was very on point with all his subject matter. He did an excellent job of presentation, and everything was real. It will really help me out in life to sharpen things in my own marriage.
Performance was dynamite. He came, he was real, he was transparent. The beautiful thing is, like he said, he was saying things that we wouldn't say. And so he brought it out, and truly enjoyed from start to finish. Kudos to you, Sam. Keep going. Proud of you.
From the woman's perspective,
I am a worst critic, but I have to say you did a very good job. I love you. I'm proud of you. We're just here to support, and I learned a lot. I took some mental notes.
Some notes.
Overall, it was a good experience, and we'll be back. Support.
Love you, Doc.